Hello, good morning. Today I would like to talk to you about telephoning. This is a little mini course, telephoning for level B1. One of the most important things about telephoning is how to answer the phone. So let's look at some examples of how to do it. Let's say my name is Claudia and I am making a phone call. This is how it could work. Hello, my name's Claudia, or I can also say, it's Claudia from In Lingua. Could I speak to Anne, please? Hello? Is this Anne? Hello? Is that Anne? Is this and is that means the same exact thing. So you can say both of them, is this or is that. If the person that you're calling is available, the person will say, yes, who's calling, please? Or yes, speaking. Or they can also say, one moment, please. Just a moment, please. I'll connect you. I'll put you through, or I'll transfer you. Now, if the person is not available, the person that is answering the phone will say, I'm afraid the line is busy or engaged. Would you like to hold? Or I'm afraid Claudia isn't available. So if this happens, what you usually ask, if the person that answers can take, or you can leave a message so that the person can call you back or knows what you want to talk about. In order to leave a message, if the person who you are looking for is not available, you could actually ask, could you take a message? Could, can, or may I leave a message? These all mean the same thing. Could you tell him or tell her that? Could you tell him or her know that? Or could you ask him if or whether? If and whether have the same function. You can either say if or whether, it's the same thing. The person who is taking the message can reply, I'll tell him or her to call you back. I'll pass on the message, or I'll make sure he gets the message. Let's look at a sample dialogue between two people. The first one calls and the second one is answering. So for example, if I say, could I speak to Claudia, please? The answer is, I'm afraid she's not here at the moment. Can I take a message? Yes, if you don't mind. Could you tell her blah, blah, blah? Okay, I'll make sure she gets the message. Thanks for your help, and you're welcome. Try and make the dialogue always very polite. You can also add please if you want several times, so that it's always a courtesy and it's always a very educated and polite request. Now, another possibility when you, for example, report a speech or messages is to use simplified speech, which means the easy way. Here are some examples. He or she said that. He or she told me. He or she explained. He or she mentioned. He or she thought. He or she was of the opinion that. He or she suggested that. He or she recommended that. He, she wanted to know. And he, she asked. You will notice that these are all in past simple form. Now, the reported speech has also some grammar rules when we're talking about reporting and changing the tenses of the verbs. In these cases, we have to use some rules, which is quite simple. For example, if we're talking directly and saying, I have the information, when we report the sentence, we have to say it in the past. She said that she had the information. So the verb from present simple goes to past simple. I put that in brackets because you can actually omit this word and the sentence means the same thing. So it's not necessary for you to leave that. So I repeat, if in the direct sentence you say, I have the information, present simple, in the reported speech, you change the present to the past. She said she had the information. This works also when you have present continuous to past continuous. So for example, in the direct speech, you will be saying, I am checking the figures. In the reported speech, you will say, he said he was checking the figures. Also for the present perfect can be changed to the past perfect. So the supplier has gone out of business, but in the reported speech, we have to change it to past perfect. She said the supplier had gone out of business. The same thing with past simple to past perfect. So in the direct speech, we would say, I sent the package yesterday. But in the reported speech, we would say, she said she had sent the package yesterday. Will becomes would. So I will call tomorrow changes to he said he would call tomorrow. And finally, you can also say can becomes could. So I can finish the job on Friday becomes she said she could finish the job on Friday. Let's look at an example in a dialogue. You will find in this dialogue that there are certain reported ways of reporting the speech. So let's read this together. Penny has not returned to the office. It is getting late, so Kevin has decided to call her on her cell phone. He will not be in the office tomorrow and wants to discuss Rose's call instead of writing a long message. Hello. Hello, Penny, it's Kevin. Hello, Kevin. What can I do for you? Rose called earlier on. She wanted to speak to you about that slogan, you know, for the herbicide. She said she'd received your email. Oh, right. Did she have any comments? We only talked briefly, but she seemed quite positive. She said she liked the emphasis on the fact that the product stops weeds from coming back. Good. I thought that was a strong selling point. But Rose wondered whether the product is as good as you say it is. From what I gathered, she was of the opinion that you didn't have enough data from the manufacturer. I got the impression she was questioning the quality of the product. So here in this little dialogue, you can see between Penny and Kevin, they're reporting what Rose was saying. So we're using reported speech and reporting messages. Now, to conclude this little webinar, I would like to try an exercise with you where we are giving messages, so we have to report the questions. Let's try together. Number 1, is Carolyn available? She asked if Carolyn was available. Good. So from the present, we have put it in the past. Let's see number 2. Where has all the money gone? He wanted to know where all the money had gone. So from the present perfect, we have turned it into the past perfect. Let's continue. Has the order been confirmed? She wondered if the order had been confirmed. Very good. Number 4. How much do the units cost? He asked how much the units cost. Number 5. How long is the waiting list? They wondered how long the waiting list was. And finally, number 6. Can someone call me back urgently? She asked if someone could call her back urgently. In this case, we've changed the can to the could. Okay, very good. This is the end of our little webinar. I'd like to thank you for your kind attention. And I would also like to suggest that if you need some information on our courses, you can actually visit our website, www.inlinguacomo.com. And I hope to see you again or to hear from you again in one of our next webinars. Have a nice day.